Now, let's be honest. College is not easy. You see a lot of things you can't unsee. You see a lot of people smoking about anything. And you see a lot of people drinking about anything wherever they can find it. And then you have to face exams, tests that are worth every percentage point of your grade. I have been there and seen those things that I wish I could unsee, but I can't. Now, if we're talking about students with disabilities, I was one of them. We need to take into consideration that those experiences are not all that different, except a lot of individuals with disabilities do sometimes face discrimination by college administrators, professors, and even sometimes classmates who are just not respectful of accommodations or just of a person's life that may be very different from their own. And I think, if I'm being honest, there is a solution to this. There is a solution to what people might call ableism. And I think the easiest solution is the one that you're doing right now. It's just listening. Maybe to this video, of course, that's a starting point, but listening to experiences unlike your own. Listening to experiences that you've never had, you've never experienced. If you've never been in a wheelchair, maybe start listening to those students who are in wheelchairs. If you've never been blind or never had limited vision, maybe listen to the students who are. And so I think we tend to make this process, and I'm referring to the professors, the administrators who don't get it, we tend to make this process more challenging than it is, and more complex. A lot of college buildings are inaccessible. There's no question about it. A lot of buildings have a dozen or so steps to just get in the building, and I am not going to climb up those steps in my power wheelchair, and you're not going to see anybody carrying my 350-pound wheelchair up those steps, because what happens in a fire? And nowadays, we also have technology. We have hybrid learning, virtual learning, which is great and very convenient for students with disabilities, but it also creates challenges when the technology does not work, or when the college is just trying to move so aggressively, so quickly to using this technology that it just is almost counterproductive. And so I know this can be a lot for anybody, but if you just start listening and you just start challenging your own beliefs, then it's not all that hard. And so once you start learning, once those college professors, those administrators start to acknowledge that maybe their tendencies, their behaviors, their habits are actually counterproductive and do not help students with disabilities, or really anybody, then you're making progress. I'm not saying you have to go easy on students with disabilities. That's just not fair. Anybody with a disability can do anything, but you can be as hard on them as anybody else, but also respect that when they have a disability-related accommodation come up, or a medical thing come up, you need to respect that. It's impossible to work from the hospital. I've tried, and it's not easy. But if you just stay open-minded about your experiences and others, then you'll make progress. Then you'll see students with disabilities excel in your classroom and outside. So they'll excel academically and personally, and that's what it's all about. Whether you run a university, whether you're a professor, or just a business owner, if you start to acknowledge the experiences unlike your own, then you're on the way to making a bigger difference than anybody else.